Good morning and welcome to Daily Red Devil for all of your latest Manchester United transfer news and talk. Lots to get into on the show this morning, but before we do that, please do me a small favour. If this is your first time watching the show today, make sure to subscribe, bottom right hand corner. We're only 3 subscribers away from 41,200, so please go and do that if you haven't already. On the show today, we're going to be talking about Gyökeres with a story coming out saying that Manchester United are going to go back in for him. We're also going to be talking about the Argentinian Franco Basto. I'm going to struggle to say this guy's name. Franco Mastantuono. Let's go with that. We're also going to be talking about Marcus Rashford, who is now unfortunately injured for the rest of the season. Talking a little bit about the game on Thursday. Lots to get into. Have your say in the comment section. The question for today, though, is going to be about the game on Thursday. I want to know your score predictions. Are you feeling confident for the Athletic Bilbao game this coming Thursday? Let me know your thoughts below. We're going to start off, though, by talking about this Argentinian that we've been linked to heavily over the last couple of weeks. And supposedly, according to sources this morning, we have put an offer in for. Now, I'm not sure if I believe this, but it is a news show. We bring you guys the news, we discuss it, and we decide whether we think it's legit or not. So this is coming out from a couple of different people this morning, saying that Manchester United, Real Madrid, and PSG have all made offers to sign Franco Mastantuono this summer. I don't know. I just this very much for me feels like agent-driven media. So what I mean by that is this player and his entourage clearly want to get him a move to one of the top European leagues, right? He's currently playing football in Argentina for River Plate. Only 17 years of age. He's being compared to Lionel Messi. You know, there's all of these mad comparisons going around already. He's an attacking midfielder. Seems very talented, but he is only 17. And suddenly, he's supposedly linked to Man United. He's linked to PSG. He's linked to Real Madrid. All of these clubs are battling for his signature, apparently. I don't really believe it. I don't know. I just think it's one of those ones where it happens every single summer. There's a South American player where every single team in Europe supposedly wants to buy them, and then they end up either staying in South America or end up at like West Ham or something. No disrespect to West Ham, but you go from being linked to Real Madrid, with Real Madrid apparently desperate to sign you, and then you end up at, you know, like a West Ham or someone like that. I don't know. I personally just think that they're using Manchester United's name to get more interest. He's clearly a talented player. He's 17 and he's playing every single week for River Plate in Argentina. Scored an absolutely beautiful free kick in the game against Boca Juniors. I think it was on the weekend. Like a crazy free kick, world-class free kick. So, yeah, I like him. I think, you know, if Man United were able to sign... I mean, I'm just watching the free kick here. It was mad. Go and watch the free kick he scored against Boca Juniors. It was crazy. It's from miles out as well. Yeah, we'll see. I personally don't think Man United will sign this player. But like I said, it is a news show. We bring you guys the news. We discuss it. And yeah, I just don't think he's going to end up at Manchester United, personally. But we'll see. We'll see. I would like to see him at Manchester United. I'm just not convinced that it will actually happen. I'm very convinced that this is the classic situation of let's link him to Manchester United. That puts the price up by another 10 million. And that happens every single year. You know, if we were to make a list, right, starting of today, on how many players Manchester United have been linked to, you honestly wouldn't believe how many it would be. It would be hundreds. It would be literally hundreds and hundreds of players that will be linked to between now and the end of the summer. And we'll probably sign 5 of those 100 players. That's the reality of the matter, you know? So, yeah, I don't think this will happen. But obviously you can let me know if you disagree. A player who we are definitely signing, though, is Diego Leon. So do you remember Diego Leon? He is a left-back, I believe. Currently plays football in Paraguay, I think it is. But that's a deal that we have confirmed already. So 18 years of age, can either play as a left-back or a left wing-back. And he will be joining Manchester United in the summer. So that's exciting, I guess. How much did we pay for him? I can't remember. We signed him last summer, but we agreed to let him stay at the club he currently plays for 12 months. So, yeah, that's one to get excited about. I saw he scored a goal on the weekend. I'll be honest, I don't watch the Paraguayan league, so I can't really tell you too much about him other than he's only 18. He plays as a left back or a left wing back, and we have 100% signed this guy, so he will be coming in. So that's exciting, I guess. But yeah, in relation to the other guy, Franco Mastantuono, I don't think he's coming to Manchester United personally, but we'll see. We'll see what happens. Right, let's move on from there, though, and let's jump on over to Marcus Rashford, shall we? So, unfortunately, it's bad news for Marcus Rashford and for Aston Villa and for Manchester United. Marcus Rashford is injured. Apparently, he's done his hamstring, and apparently he will be out for the rest of the season. So, I mean, that's come at the worst time, isn't it? Because we just have to hope that he's back in time for the transfer window. Imagine if I'm just trying to get my words out here. Imagine if Marcus Rashford doesn't end up getting a move now because he's injured. Remember, a lot of the time clubs won't sign players who are injured. So yeah, I mean, that is a little bit of a concern, isn't it? For me anyway. I don't know how you guys feel about that, but if Marcus Rashford does stay injured for the rest of the season, which apparently he will be, what does that mean in relation to selling him this summer? Like, no one's going to buy him if he's injured. Yeah, it's a bit of a worry, actually. Because he's one of the players on the shortlist where we're like, right, he's 100% going to leave. We're definitely going to get rid of him. Yeah, so we'll see, but I'm a little bit concerned about that. Hamstring injuries, I don't know. How long do hamstring injuries usually last? At least a month or two. So yeah, hopefully we can get him back before then. But at the moment, it's not looking particularly good. Yeah, Ranjit says we'll probably have to loan him again. That's a fair point. Hopefully not. A couple of months, Al saying, for a hamstring injury. I mean, that's still a long time, though. A couple of months from now will be like the beginning of July. The new season starts in August. I mean, we still have time. It's not major panic stations now, but obviously the ideal situation was that Marcus Rashford went to Aston Villa, did really well, and then we were able to sell him for 40, 50 million in the summer. And unfortunately, he hasn't done that well, I don't think. He's done okay. But yeah, I don't know. It's a little bit underwhelming, isn't it? And obviously with him now being injured, what does that mean? But there's nothing we can do about it here and now. We have to just wait and see again how that one progresses. Dave says, another loan for Rashford. I think he'll wait until Amorim gets sacked and then comes back. I mean, if that happens, wow. The thing is, right, realistically, let's just talk about what, who was it who said that? What Dave said in the chat. You might be right there, Dave. You might be right. Because we're all behind Ruben Amorim, right? Marcus Rashford's still got 3 years left on his contract. If we carry on performing the way we are in the Premier League next season, do you think Ruben Amorim will be here in 3 years? The point being that Marcus Rashford still has 3 years as a Manchester United player on his contract. So you might be right. Maybe he is just biding his time, but I don't know. I don't think as negatively as that. I think the likelihood is that Manchester United will just say we don't want Rashford back, and they'll try and loan him out or sell him. But obviously, with him being injured, it makes it more difficult. But we'll see. Again, we'll see how it progresses. Obviously, there is a possibility that you're right, and that Ruben Amorim gets sacked next season, and then Marcus Rashford decides he wants to come back. I mean, that is a possibility. Fred says, have Aston Villa officially withdrawn? They haven't officially withdrawn at this point, no. But obviously, Marcus Rashford apparently doesn't want to stay at Aston Villa. He wants to go to Barcelona. He wants to, he wants to go to one of the bigger clubs in Europe. But do we think that one of these big clubs is going to come in for him if he's injured? Maybe they do. Maybe they don't. It just means in the grand scheme of things, his transfer fee is going to go down. He's not going to be worth the same amount of money if he's injured, I don't think. Yeah. But anyway, let's see what happens with that one. Moving on from there, we're going to jump on over to Gyökeres now. And there's some strange stories coming out this morning about Gyökeres. Very, very strange. So, the general consensus from the mainstream media, let's rephrase that. The general consensus from the more reliable media sources are saying that Gyökeres isn't going to come to Manchester United, right? But then you have other media sources in the last 24 hours hounding this story, saying that apparently Manchester United have already agreed a deal for Gyökeres. He is coming, 100%. Yeah, I just don't believe it. I don't believe it. Like, the people putting out this story, it's just not very, it doesn't seem very reliable to me. Yeah, so I personally can't see Gyökeres coming to Manchester United. I don't know how you guys feel about that. I don't know whether you think that, Gyökeres will end up at Manchester United. I think if we get Champions League football, maybe. If we were to win the Europa League and then get the Champions League football, I think it's a possibility. But otherwise, I would say there's no chance. Because he's going to want Champions League football, isn't he, Gyökeres? People like Liam Delap, he might want Champions League football, but if Man United's the best option on the table, then he's going to come to Manchester United, realistically. So, yeah, I think it's a slightly different situation versus Gyökeres, who can demand Champions League football. Whereas Liam Delap, I mean, he's only 21? He's at the beginning of his career. It's not really comparable. So, yeah. I would love Gyökeres at Man United, though. Al says Gyökeres is too old for Man United. Yeah, that's the thing. Ineos do kind of feel like that, don't they? Where they want younger players. Yeah. So we'll see what happens. We'll see what happens. Right. Right, let's see what else we've got. Jacko says we don't need the lap. We have Chido Obi. Fair point. Tony says Gyökeres will end up at Arsenal. Yeah. I think it would be a better move for him going somewhere where they're a little bit further along on their development, But then you say that, you never know. Man United next season might be a completely different situation, You just don't know in football. No one thought that Leicester City would win the league. Maybe we come back next season and we have a really good transfer window, loads of players leave, and next season we're different. I don't see it personally. I think it's going to be a long old road to get us back anywhere near the top. Yeah, but we'll see. I'm personally not that confident at the moment that things are going to get much better. I think finishing in the top 8 next season would be realistic, and even then that might not happen. That's a good question, actually. I know it's maybe a little bit early for this, but what are people's expectations for next season? Where do you think Man United should be finishing next season? Or where are you expecting Manchester United to finish next season? That's a better question. Let me know. I'm very interested, actually, to see. So, yeah. Anyway, I'm going to wrap the video up here, guys. Feels like a good point to end today's show. Thank you very much for watching. I will be back tomorrow morning as normal. I hope you all have an amazing day, whatever you're doing. Don't forget to drop a like, leave a comment, subscribe. And I'll speak to you all tomorrow. I'll do a poll on that question tomorrow. We'll do a whole section on it tomorrow, I think. That could be an interesting topic. So, yeah, have a great day, everybody. We'll speak tomorrow about that and other things. Bye for now.